Welcome to the TrailManners podcast. This is Singletrack Session number 112, and we are recording today on Wednesday, October 31st, which some of you know as Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, by the time you listen, if you listen when it launches, Halloween's over.
Yeah.
So you've dealt with all the trick-or-treaters.
Hopefully you've eaten all the candy corn.
That's right. And hopefully you listened to the pro tip last week about giving out your expired running gels.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I still think that's legit. You can even tell the kids, hey, this will help you get through the night.
That's right. It'll help you run faster to the next house.
That's right. And in recognition of Halloween, me and Joel are going to do this podcast completely in pirate voices. So you'll enjoy that. But not just kidding. We could not do that.
That
through
would
a whole
be
show.
pretty funny.
That would be good if I could pull it off for very long. But I'd
Yeah.
probably say two things and be like, yeah, that we're done here. But yeah, it's going to be November. And speaking of November, we'll just jump right into it. November 1st, the day this show launches, 2018, for those that are listening a year from now, going back into the archives, a lot of races are opening up. November 1st is like a big day for races.
True.
Some of the ones that we've done, I know Twisted Fork up in Park City opens up.
Yep.
Which is a good race by Candace, and he does an amazing job. In fact, out of last year, that was my ultimate swag race.
Yeah, it was.
Shirts that were awesome. They put our names on them.
Yeah.
One thing I would say about the name thing, which would be hard, but you could do it on Ultra Sign Up, is let people put like a nickname or something.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So mine said Manning. I would have said, hey, can you put Manners on there?
Right.
Or that's my booty, since it's right above your butt.
Bootylicious.
Bootylicious.
Yeah.
Bedazzle it a little.
That's right.
But super cool. They did that last year. The race course was legit.
Mm-hmm.
What else did they have that kind of, their finisher medals were cool.
Yes.
Looks like, they went through elevation culture
bibs.
as well. The bibs were awesome.
The bibs were awesome.
Yeah, they had your name on them. They were lightweight.
They're soft.
Yeah, they were super soft. But yeah, that's a great race. And of course, a race that we're fond of, that we've been promoting this year, and we're giving out a race entry to, is the Beaverhead Endurance Runs. Those open up on November 1st, and those are selling out quicker every year.
Right.
So that is, when is that race? That race is in July, the 13th.
Is it the second Saturday in July?
Yes, July 13th. Registration, like I said, opens November 1st. We're giving a free race entry to either distance. Okay, They have a 100K and a 55K. If you listen to last week's show, episode Singletrack Session 111, we said you got to go onto that Facebook post, Singletrack Session 111, tag a friend, and then whoever gets the most likes on their post gets an entry.
Right.
And there's some people.
I was really surprised.
Yeah.
I went and checked it the other day. It's like, man, somebody's got over 100 likes. That's crazy.
Really?
Yes.
So, yeah. And we only have one entry. So
no, there was more than that.
No, I mean, we're giving away one entry.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So you got to get on it. And we're giving you one more week for that.
Okay.
So and it has to be, you can do it on Singletrack Session 112. Now, for this week. So you can still use last week's. Like if you did it last week, you can keep pushing people there.
Right.
But if you're new, you can do it on 112. We'll look at both of them, so whoever gets the most likes.
So basically, whoever last week has a better chance because they've had 2 weeks
longevity
to accumulate likes.
Unless you just get after it for 1 week.
Yeah.
So
get like 300 likes.
Then go for it.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, because this year, the 2019, the 100K is a Western States qualifier for 2020. There's 4 UTMB points, and the 55K, which I ran last year, is a 3 points for UTMB. So they are a qualifying race. They're balancing the permits this year between the two distances.
Right.
Okay, so that means they have less 55K spots available.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind. So this year they're going to have 175 per race. 350 total, 175 for each race. The Stagecoach Inn has rooms available. That is maybe by now, because you want to reserve those either way.
Because I think there's a big event going on that weekend besides the race.
Yeah, last year was the first time they did this. It was like a 4-wheeler type thing with the razors and stuff. They're not on the course. They're in a different part of the town, but it's a smaller town. It's a fun town.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Don't wait. Get your room.
Yeah, get your room, even if you're on the fence, because you can always cancel that.
Right.
And one of the cool things about this race, I didn't get one. I ran the 55K. Is 100K finishers get a custom finishers hoodie. And they're pretty cool.
I think they're a Gucci hoodie.
They're pretty sweet. And the finish line is awesome. It's great burgers, huge finish line.
Family friendly.
Super. The whole thing is, and again, I might be back. Like, I didn't think I would be, but they released a video of the area that got caught on fire after the race.
Right.
Not because of the race, but, because we had fires.
There were some scorching times.
I was running pretty fast through one section, and I
Right.
could have been kicking up some sparks.
That's right.
But it looks really cool. And it's just a beautiful course. The views are breathtaking. So check that out. Head over to beaverheadenduranceruns.com, or, of course, on Ultra Sign Up. That's where registration is for that one. And like I said, next Thursday, which is the 8th, November 8th, which happens to be, a number I enjoy.
Right.
We will announce the winner of, whoever.
When are you going to close this contest?
Yeah, no, we'll announce the winner on the.
So is it closed on Wednesday, the 7th?
The 7th.
November 7th?
But we'll announce the winner on the 15th.
Oh, okay. So you're
Sorry.
going to the 8th. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but we'll announce the winner on
Okay.
the 15th. So 2 weeks.
Right.
But you have one more week to if that makes sense. It should.
It does.
All right. You look at a calendar. That should make sense. So anyway, great race. It's been fun working with them. That race committee, David Targelson's the one that kind of spearheads that with his amazing group. And and I want to throw this out there because it's still in my mind, but the last aid station of this course, you get off the scree field, which it'll work you. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not an
You'll
easy race.
be grateful to get off that scree field.
You will. But then you have this legit downhill.
Like 4,000 feet.
You could probably zip line it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But then you hit the last aid station and they make smoothies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so good because
Right.
July is
It's
warm.
a bit toasty.
Yeah, it's a little warm. So great race. Love to see people sign up for that one, and hope you get out there. Next up, there's a lot of races, so just keep an eye out.
I think the Scout Mountain race opens. The 100-miler might open.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you're looking for a hard June race to do. The 100-miler for Scout Mountain. I believe it opens on the 1st of November. Maybe.
Watch Joel's eyes.
Maybe.
He's thinking.
I had to think about that.
Joel looks to the left when he thinks. So
Yeah.
if you're talking to Joel and his eyes go left, he's thinking. That's what I just found out. I'm a profiler.
Don't take me at my word on that one, all right?
Don't take Joel seriously, folks.
On that one. Not on that one. But if you wanted to if you were afraid that you're not going to get your spot, have that on your calendar.
Because that's what you need. Because last year was our first year of that 100.
Yeah,
they changed that up a little bit.
I believe that it was well received, and the consensus is that it is a very difficult race, maybe even harder than Wasatch.
Wow.
You might need to go to the Ultra Sign Up to.
Yeah, June 1st and 2nd. I'm looking at it right now. June 1st and 2nd is the race.
Right.
I clicked on register now, and I'm going sign up. So I'm on the sign up button.
Yes.
It kicks me over to Ultra Sign Up, and Ultra Sign Up says this event took place
last
year. So it doesn't have information there
Right.
when it opens.
Okay. Well, maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's in December. Okay, we're off topic. Let's go to a race that actually opens up.
Okay, here it is. Registration will open January. Nope, we're in 2018, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's not updated, but
All right.
it should open. So what am I doing?
What other race opens up tomorrow?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you had another one.
No, that was
ready
it.
For me. Okay, never
No.
mind. All right, let's go to the next thing.
So next thing is I'm back from San Diego.
That's right. Looked like you had a good trip.
Had an amazing time. I'm very fortunate to have a great travel buddy.
Yes.
My daughter. She is crazy cool. If you haven't met her, then you're missing out. But we had a great time in San Diego. Beautiful weather. Kind of one of those things, again, where people recognize that we are not from San Diego.
Right.
For the simple fact we were the only people on, I mean this, there was hundreds of people on
The beach.
we went more than once. We went up to La Jolla Cove.
Right.
One day, and we did not have wetsuits.
Right.
We're the only people I seriously, honestly could see in the water without wetsuits, and
Right.
we were totally fine.
Yeah.
We were out. I was getting crushed. Hurt my neck a little bit on one wave, kind of snuck up on me. But it was beautiful. San Diego is amazing. I was trying to do a lot. I was trying to get over to Elevation Culture and check them out, but
Right,
I was on
that'd been
vacation and just couldn't squeeze it in at the last minute. But yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of people, healthy people in San Diego. People running all over the place. In fact, if I lived there, I might even run on the harder, the stuff that's compacted. What is it, pavement? Yeah,
really?
Asphalt, yeah.
Dang.
And a lot of people running on the beach.
Right.
But yeah, it was a beautiful time. Great time to recharge, kind of refocus my jets a little bit, kicking into some change. Yeah, it was good. Let my calf recover for another week.
Right.
Playing in the ocean, kind of bouncing around, trying to run a little bit where it's hard. It didn't hurt it, and it didn't hurt. So I'm like, I think I'm ready.
Probably.
So it's been at least 3 weeks, but now I'm scared because I don't know how my fitness is going to suck on my next run. And I was doing good.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll get back on it.
So when I go out tomorrow morning, which will be November 1st, I like to run on the first day of every month. When I run out tomorrow morning, I'm going to be like, man, this sucks.
Right.
I can't breathe. And I hope my mountain lungs are back too.
Oh, true.
From living on the beach.
Living on the beach.
I was just, I was kind of living. I've got one person, a friend of mine, ours, referred me to a fish taco Wahoo's.
Yeah.
It was so good, man. And I love fish tacos. That's kind of my jam, and was amazing. So, and the Notre Dame Navy game was played.
Oh.
So it was freaking crowded.
They do have a big port there, don't they?
Oh yeah, and they had Navy ships coming in for the game.
Right.
And then I'm in SeaWorld one day on Thursday, and I ran one of the funnest rides I've ever rode. I was the only one on the roller coaster, and I was on the very front seat because nobody was there on Thursday because everybody's in school. It was awesome.
Aspen wasn't going to ride it.
No, she watched me. Yeah. And I'm
it's usually the opposite way around.
And I was giggling my butt off.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were at SeaWorld, and I look up, and there's Rich Dressen and his family. He's from Ogden, works out with Joel, and I'm like, what the heck? He was there for the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
So I'm in San Diego seeing someone from Ogden.
Yeah.
And San Diego's, it's a little bigger place.
Yes.
And so saw him and talked to him for a little bit, and then when I was leaving Monday in the airport, saw him again.
That's awesome.
I was like, man, I don't mind a stalker here and there, but it was creepy. So that'll work. And then you've got, man, you go in Friday.
Yeah, get my knee operated on Friday.
2 days, November 2nd. And so that's in and out, though, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
So how long is that going to last?
What do you mean, surgery?
Like, how long are you going to be there? You got to fast?
Yeah, you always got to fast. You're not allowed to eat or drink anything after midnight.
It's like a gremlin.
Yeah, exactly.
And what time's your appointment?
I don't know yet. I'll find out tomorrow.
Oh, that's they kind of schedule it that way.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Oh, and then so what's it look like? What's your recovery? You go in on Friday.
If it's just a cleanup, I think I got a 4-week recovery.
And are you going to be like right when you get out? Or are you going to be riding the little electric scooters around Walmart?
That'd be fun.
Or how are you going to do this?
I should get one. That'd be fun. No. And if my past surgeries are any indication of what's going to happen this time, I'm going to be really wired right after the surgery because whatever they give me in the anesthesia, it's like a speedball. Really it is. Like it's hard to describe. You think you want to go home and rest afterwards. I'm just like so wired. It's annoying.
Really?
Yeah. And then the next day I feel terrible.
Coming down from your.
It's totally coming down. Got the shakes, the cold sweats. I feel like I'm going to vomit. Yeah. But then after that, I'm okay usually. So we'll see.
And then
I should be able to walk right away. Yeah, I got PT scheduled already.
How long you got to do that?
It's as long as I want to, but I'm going to try to do 3 weeks of PT.
Nice.
And then I'm going to get this pneumatic compression thing that I can put my leg into.
Oh, like a sleeve?
Yeah, it's a sleeve, and I think it's just operates off of air.
Okay.
Just to keep that swelling down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get one of those for the house this time.
Yeah? You going to keep it, or is this rental?
No, it's a rental.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like those leg things after running.
Yeah, those look pretty cool.
Yeah, I've tried those.
I think
those
you
cool.
can get those for about $450 off Amazon. Like a good one.
Good one? For $450. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
We just need one of those companies to sponsor us.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be
just
nice. Anyway, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah.
4 weeks, I should be able to run again.
So that's to say 4 weeks, and you kind of get back into it.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Which is good. Yeah, because maybe by then, it's hard to say. That's right before Thanksgiving, or right around Thanksgiving.
That was my goal, was sometime around Thanksgiving was to run again.
Okay. That'll be good.
I haven't run for 2 months. So.
Well, hopefully the snow will hold off so you can get on the dirt a little bit so it's not so slippery.
Actually, I'm looking forward to some snow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Because I got myself a ski pass.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where at?
Snow Basin.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that.
I said this last year, but we didn't have really the opportunity, but I really want to do some Nordic skiing this summer, winter.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with that this year. I got a ski pass. I'm going to go up there.
And just tear it up?
Just, have as much fun as I can.
I haven't skied for a while. But yeah, I want to try the Nordic skiing thing.
Yeah.
Just try, that cross-training business.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, if it was closer, I'd probably do it all the time.
Yeah.
But for our drive out to North Fork, that's a solid half hour.
Go up to Snow Basin.
Yeah, their trails are so-so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it might be a good thing if I can go up to Snow Basin and I can go ride lifts for a couple hours and then go get on some skis, some classic skis.
Yeah.
That'd be a great combination.
Yeah, there's something like that in yoga. I'm going to get out my comfort zone and do those things, I think, this year. That's my goal, which I still haven't done yoga. We've talked about it a lot, but I still haven't. I don't have it on my schedule to do anytime soon either.
I think you should get yourself some yoga pants and go over there.
Yoga pants, ski pants.
And just bust that yoga knuckle out to everybody.
That always scares me.
And go
when you
for
say that, it makes me even not want to do it more. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm out again. I was close, but now I'm out. Every time I see pictures of a moose now, I think of that. I'm like, God, what is wrong with me? Joel's warped me and scared me. Well, hopefully we'll talk next week and see how that's going. Get some pictures. We also got some pretty cool companies. We're not going to say anything, but there's a few companies that we're going to be working with here coming up that have reached out to us that I'm excited about. There's one company in particular we'll probably talk about next week on the show.
Right.
Pretty cool. I'm excited.
They make soft clothing.
Yes, they do. They reached out to us a while back, and we've been talking to them, and I think we're going to partner. I like calling it partnerships.
Right.
We're going to partner with them for the month of November. Some cool people on top of just like really good stuff. So we'll be talking about that soon. Also, this is a public service announcement from the TrailManners podcast that you got to remember this weekend is the time change.
Oh, that's right.
So we got to turn back time. You got to find a way.
Oh, is we getting an hour of sleep this weekend?
We turn back time, Cher says.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what San Diego. The whole time think. Actually, it was only an hour, but it kind of did fool me a little bit.
Yeah.
And the weather, because I got home, I'm like, yeah, it's a little chillier here. I might have to bust out a jacket. I'm still in shorts. I won't break out into pants for a while. But yeah, don't forget about time change. It's really tricky because it's like that midnight Saturday night / Sunday, and if you've got a run scheduled on Sunday with friends, and you are that person that messes up your time change.
Well, if you don't use your phone for an alarm,
you're hosed.
Make sure you
just make sure
that
you
adjustment
do it. So
before you go to bed.
That's our public service announcement for you.
Right.
The other thing that I'm working on right now that'll be pretty fun, and I've got the first athlete. So this winter, I've wanted to do this for a while, and Joel, I talked about it, but I'm going to just go for it.
Okay, you do it.
So this winter, we're going to do a couple like little athlete nights or talks, right? So I'm going to put them on. We're going to work the first one. I'm not going to say where these are at yet. We're still working some final logistics. But the first person we're going to have talk is Trevor Fuchs.
Yes.
Talk to him. He's going to talk a little bit about what it's like being, number one, he's a solid runner. Yeah, just badass, master of badassery. But there's other topics as well, like how to run being a vegan.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are starting to go into that side of that healthy eating, changing their diets. How do you do that and transition into running, especially long distance? And also, Trevor's done something great here along our area where he's done a Thursday night trash cleanup.
That he deserves an award for that.
Yeah, him and Sean Woods have been doing that, and I know we've had Logan Ledford on the show. He got one down south more with the Wrangler group, and it's a really cool thing, and we've talked to some other people, and there's some other things in the works with this, but I'll let that for another day.
I think Trevor out-trashed Logan, meaning that he probably collected more trash than Logan did.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
That's not a good thing.
No,
that just shows how much trash
dirt is up here.
How much trash is at the trailheads.
But it's pretty cool because it's brought out. Him and Sean started earlier in the summer, and they weren't gaining a lot of traction early on. Maybe it was the heat, maybe it was the time of year. Yeah. But when the weather, I don't know, it changed a little bit.
Like in August, it really took off.
It did, and I've been fortunate to be a part of a few. Sometimes my schedule doesn't work, but they spearheaded that, and it's really gained a lot of momentum. And I think what Logan even said. We had him and talked to him on the show. It's like it doesn't want to be like Logan's thing, or because there was a time when he was tagged on these things. He's like, people should just do this.
Yeah,
right?
You
shouldn't have to schedule a day. You shouldn't have to schedule an event. It's like if you're out there, just pick it up. And I know the groups in Salt Lake do a really good job of that. I see pictures all the time, and people talk about it all the time, how much trash they pick up on their runs, and it's super refreshing. I was down in San Diego. Some guy, it was like 7:30 in the morning, guy's running down the beach, and he had a sack with him, and he'd stop and pick up trash every once in a while that has been pushed up on the beach, and that just warmed me up. I'm like, cool. Like people do this all the time.
Right.
It's not like something special, but sometimes it's just bringing that to the forefront, because sometimes people want to do it, but they don't. either think about it, or maybe it's that avenue of starting to do it, or whatever it might be.
Right.
But we're going to have Trevor talk a little bit about that and kind of what his goals are for that, and kind of move it into the future. And I'll set one of those up. These will be free. Maybe it'll be something where you bring like a can of food. We can take to the shelter or something like that. We'll do a few of those. I got Trevor lined up, and there's a few more we'll talk to. It won't be a big production. It's just going to be simple.
Right.
Maybe bring in somebody, to talk about nutrition, maybe another athlete to just Q&A of something cool they did, stuff like that. Let's see. All right. So here's something that came up on social media. And I didn't know about it, and I guess it's happened.
Yeah. What's that?
It's called.
What's it called?
It's called. I'm gonna try and find it. What it's called? It's called 29029. That's what it's called.
I know what you're
Everesting.
talking about. Right, Everesting.
So it was interesting, and I went in a little detail to read it because the biggest thing I saw was Carl Meltzer posted it on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
He doesn't post much. When he does, you can generally guarantee there's probably some controversy around it or an opinion thing, right? And that's cool. Mm-hmm. But so this place it's 29029everesting.com. And I'm not trying to push them. I don't deal with them. It's just more of a talking point.
Right.
And so you pull up this website and says, do you have what it takes to Everest?
Yeah.
And this in 2019 they have two events, one in Utah, which is why we're talking about it, Snow Basin, and one in Vermont.
Right.
And essentially what it is 29029 is the vertical feet.
That's how high. That's how tall
is.
Mount Everest is. Yes.
So I don't know. So next year it's in August. It's a Snow Basin. They basically rent out the mountain.
Yeah.
And this course at Snow Basin, it's 36 hours long. You need to do this. Each hike is 2.3 miles.
Yeah.
It gains 2310 vert.
Yeah.
And you have to summit Snow Basin 13 times from wherever they put this base camp. So 13 times up and back.
Where do you think they're going to put it?
I don't know. I mean, I could probably find out if I kept reading in this.
No, I mean, just thinking off the top of your head of the base of Snow Basin.
I would say base of Snow Basin.
Do you think so? Because they've kind of taken up the flattish area with the putt-putt course.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they set up tents.
They set up tents, maybe in that upper parking lot that they don't ever use anymore.
Could be.
Up there?
Yeah, it might be.
Because if that you're out of the way.
Because below the resort, I don't have any flat spots for tents.
Below the resort, over by where the tubing hill is, that's kind of flat.
Yeah.
It's kind of flat, and it's close to a parking area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it.
But essentially,
close to that service road, because I'm assuming they're taking people up the service road.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to. I don't know.
And they're going up the Needles.
That's what I would guess.
Yeah, they're not actually summiting the
top of the mountain.
Yeah. So there's a little misnomer on their part.
But so what's included, and I'll tell you the price in a minute, but what's included in this price that you ask?
What you get?
They say nothing's for sale. Your ticket includes everything you need.
Okay.
You get a train. You get to attend it. I'm kind of confused they put that in there, but I think they're making it longer what you get.
Right.
You get to sleep. You get to eat. You get to drink and party. For 3 nights and 4 days. Specifically, you get an entry. It's a limited capacity, exclusive endurance event is how they schedule it. You get a full training plan with coaching calls and daily workouts.
Oh, I didn't know you got those.
3 nights accommodations in luxury glamping.
Okay.
All food, beverages, alcohol.
Oh, dang.
Vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free diets accommodated. All event swag, massage therapy.
Oh, man.
Recovery boots and stretch therapists, private Facebook group and community building.
They didn't contact me yet for the stretch therapy.
They should, right? Yeah. And speaker and experts discussing mindset and wellness and training plans. So that's what you get.
You get a lot more than what because at first I thought you just got the glamping and you get to go hike.
Yeah.
You get quite a bit.
And if you attend by yourself, you'll share a tent with 2 others in the same gender.
Right.
Which that doesn't sound that fun.
Nah.
Each person will have their own single bed.
Right.
And let's see. Yeah, it's basically you have 36 hours to do this. So you're like, well, what's pricing? Well, it's funny you should ask. So single pricing for one person, $3,995.
Okay.
However, you get a payment plan for 6 months of $745 a month.
Right.
So they throw that in there.
Dang, man.
But you know what? I want to go with a buddy. I want to go with a significant other and share a tent. Well, that's okay because you can do that at a rate of $10,495 for a tent for 2.
So it's more
Yeah.
than a single.
Yeah. So if you do
Just
two
because
singles,
you get a tent. I gotcha.
yeah, you get an entry for two
Gotcha.
participants, and the payment plan on that one's a little easier to handle. It's $19.95 for 6 months, $1,995, or a one-time payment of $10,495.
Oh my gosh.
So, they give you options, so you don't have to just,
Bite the bullet and pay all that
Yeah.
much money up front.
and that's Utah.
Oh,
Okay, it looks like Vermont has the same pricing. I'm just kind
Okay.
of fiddling around here.
gotcha.
They do have it in Vermont. Vermont's in October, so that's
Oh my
interesting.
gosh. That could be cold.
Cold. In the picture, they show someone with a beanie and a puffy.
Oh my gosh.
Utah's
so
is in August, so that's
Yeah.
going to be warm.
That could be-
but could be
But
cool.
you know what? Snow basin nights are pretty chilly.
Yeah, they're pretty, and they're going to be pretty chill
Uh-huh.
because of this event. But anyway, people were talking about how the fee, because we're talking per person. I don't know.
That's a lot. But you do kind of get it. I mean, if you use those services to the max for 3 days, that's not too bad.
Well, let's divide it into 3 days at $4,000.
Yeah.
Over $1,000. That's a lot of alcohol.
That's
That's
what
where
I'm
you'd
thinking.
have to
I think
kinda like-
that's where my downfall would come.
Is the alcohol
Is
side?
I would get to the end of the day or the middle of the day, be like, "Where's the beer?
Yeah.
Let's screw this. I'm done. It's hot. It's time for a cold one." And then the rest of the day, I'd be napping.
And
So
then, yeah.
I would pay
To sleep and drink.
$3,000 just to take naps.
I'll tell you what. You give me $2,000, and I'll provide that for you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'll
At a discount.
You know what I'm going to do for you?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you your own tent.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to put it where you want it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a snow basin for just $2,000, and I'm going to give you a monthly payment plan.
All right.
With no interest.
I'm liking this new business idea.
Yeah, and it's just $2,000, and I'll even go get you some Popeyes chicken.
Oh,
Okay. I'll get you some.
For $2,000, you better drive down to St. George and get me some beef with chicken.
I'll massage you. I'll
Yeah.
stretch out.
Yep.
I'm not certified, but I don't know if
That's
these
okay.
people are. I'll tell
Exactly.
you. I will train. I'll give you a training program. I'll say, Joel, go do Malins twice this week.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
going to get fit. So, anyway, it's just I think that's what it is. And here's the deal. Here's my deal on this. If they want to do it, put it on.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If people pay to do it,
Oh, my gosh.
go for it. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, I understand people saying this is a joke, it's too
Right.
expensive. I agree, personally. Like, that's my personal mindset on it.
I think it's a hair on the expensive side.
But if people do it,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Okay. I believe that people don't understand what they're in for. How hard this is going to be.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. All to them, man.
There's a lot of people. Like, I'm looking
for
at
it.
I'm looking at people that did it last year in Utah, and it doesn't
actually
have, there's a
did it?
lot.
There was?
Yeah, like I'm looking at it going, oh my gosh. But here's the thing: is like they have different levels. So here at this thing, it's like,
Oh, if you hit like 10,000 feet, you get like
Yeah.
an honorable mention.
well, no, they have different summit.
I wish they wouldn't say summit
Yeah, that's what they
because
keep
that's
saying.
so not true.
I'm trying to find this other graph I found on another. There's like 4
I
pages.
didn't know they did this last year.
Yeah, I did. And that's the thing is they rent the mountain.
Right.
Right. So,
I wonder if they close it down. No.
well, God,
So,
if they're making $3,000 per $4,000 per person, they probably can afford to grab the mountain. But it's a couple days
Well, we know
long.
that the mountain costs somewhere around $5,000 to rent.
I also heard that's changed with new
So it's
management.
more now?
That's,
It's
they're-
gonna be more?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it might
Probably.
be less. I don't know. Nothing ever becomes less. Dang it, I can't find the page I was
Yeah.
looking for. But it talks about different levels, right?
Right.
So I'll read some last year's results. So last year there were 4 people that got, quote, no summit. So they paid that money and didn't even get a summit.
Are you serious?
That's what it says.
Oh my gosh.
And then the next one is the Kosciuszko, I don't know,
Something.
Kosciuszko. So these are different summits across the
Kosciuszko or
world.
something.
Yeah, and there is probably, that's 4 laps. So if you do 4 to 5, 4, 5, and 6 laps, I don't know, there's probably 12 to 15 in that group. Then there's the Vinson, which is 7 laps, and there's 6 or 7. The Elbrus, which is 8 laps.
Oh,
there's
so they're using the
5.
They're using the 7 summits. Is what
There's the
they're doing.
Kilimanjaro and Denali,
Yeah.
which is 9 summits,
Uh-huh.
and there's 6 there. The Aconcagua.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's a lot in that one. That's 10 to 12. There's probably 20 there.
Right. Oh my gosh.
And Everest, which is 13, there's probably at least 30.
Do you really think that many people participated last year?
That's the results. I'm looking at their times and everything. Some people came in at 36.
You know what? I can generate those results too and make crap up.
Well, there's names. We can call them.
I want to know if they had 50 people do this event last year.
Oh, they had more than 50 according to this page.
Okay,
I'm looking
60?
at.
You think 60? What's the math on that? What was the price? $3,000 to
sign
up?
Just say 4.
4,000?
Yeah, because if there was a group, then they're paying more.
Well, what's 4 times 60?
You got a calculator.
240,000?
I don't know.
Right?
4.
Come on. What's 4 times 6? It's 24, right?
I'm just reading like 30.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing some math over there.
No, I'm guessing there's 70 to 80 people that did it last year.
Oh my gosh!
Looking at the results.
So let's say 200. Let's say 250,000. Let's round it.
So
that's a lot of dang money.
Let's do 70 people, and there's some brain people out there listening that already have the number. 70 people times 4,000. That's 280,000, right? So that's for one event. So I don't think it costs them $280,000. I mean, you have to make money, right? I mean, if you produce stuff, you just have to. Oh my gosh,
the Forest Service makes 5% off of that, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. If they're on Snow Basin,
Snow Basin rents that land from the Forest Service. I don't think they own the land.
Well, I don't know if you get a permit from them. I don't know. Maybe.
I bet you that they have to.
So anyway, that was last year. So this year, I don't know. Will there be more?
100?
Will there be more?
That's amazing. We're totally in the wrong business.
Okay, Vermont, there's well over 100 results from last year.
Wow.
In Vermont.
Okay, so this is the thing that we didn't know about, that's obviously there's a demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. This is a great business model.
I want to know why these 170 people aren't sponsoring their podcast if they have $4,000 to run up a mountain.
Yeah.
We should put on a podcasting
I can see this is
summit.
This could be like a destination event almost. Like, right, we're going to go out and we're going to run this Everest challenge, do some luxury camping and party at night. I can see where there could be an appeal for this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously there is one.
You get to hike up. I mean, you don't have to do the
run,
hard part by going down, because that's what would crush you.
Well, you come down.
Yeah, but if you had the run down.
You don't have to run down?
Yeah, no, you get to take the gondola back down. That's what would crush people.
Man. Yeah. Take the gondola down. Yep. It says run, walk, crawl up a mountain, take the gondola down, repeat until you climb Everest. We bring the world's hardest climb to you.
Right.
That's what it says.
Well,
I don't know. There's pictures from last year. People it must have been Vermont. There's snow. They got hiking poles. They got puffies and beanies and everything hiking up a mountain. I'm guessing this is Snow Basin. The guy's in a shirt and shorts.
I'm all for him doing this because there's a need there, and somebody's making some good coin off of it. I would never pay that much to go do that.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah,
$4,000.
Yeah, I'm not going to knock their price point. Because if you look at everything that's going into this and you start adding up all the costs, it's their end, they are spending a lot of money.
Well, I'm not saying they're not, for sure. It just seems like $4,000
over the course of 3 days.
So here's the deal. Like, what if we want to go summit the mountain 13 times? Like, we wanted to do that. I mean, we don't have. I mean, again, if we spread it out over 3 days. Right, like we could drive home.
Our cost is a gas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, these people are probably coming from all over.
Yeah, I think this is a destination for people.
It's just interesting that people would pay that. I mean, here we are talking about the 200-mile race for a year or so, right? $1,000. We'll throw that out there.
$850 to $1,000.
And we're saying, wow, I would do that way over this. Right? Like I'm getting 200 miles.
But that's just you and I, right?
Yeah. No, I understand that, but it just seems like
I'm going to say these people are probably not your 100-mile runners.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Or maybe not even your 50-mile runners.
I don't think some of them are runners.
Maybe marathoners.
Maybe not even any of the
They might be marathoners. No, you're a good point. Maybe these people are just like, oh, that's a great challenge, and I have an extra $3,000, and I've always wanted to go to Utah.
I've always wanted to have an extra $3,000.
Yeah, right?
Or $4,000 because it's $4,000 for the event. Now you got to get here.
Yeah.
So it's going to cost you more.
This is the destination event for people, and it's just kind of like a bucket list for them, right?
So there we go. I mean, you've spawned something for me. So this is happening on August 22nd through 25th at Snow Basin. So that weekend.
Oh, that is a good training weekend right before Wasatch.
So I'm going to go out and I'm going to get buffed out.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a nice outfit. I'm going to get waxed. I'm going to do everything.
You're going to get speed waxed.
Yeah, Brazilian, everything.
Right.
I'm going to show up that weekend
Yeah.
and look for a sugar mama.
Ooh,
right?
I like this
Right?
idea.
How does that sound? I mean, because these people are coming. They got to have some bank.
I think they do.
So if I can get a hold of the entrance list and see where some are from,
Yes.
even,
And get somebody that's close to your age range, you know?
It's like, oh, they're from San Diego.
Yes.
Like, nice job, runner. Nice job, hiker. 87.
Yes.
And just follow them around with a sign, right? Like be their support group. Maybe I'll be like a crew
now
or something.
see, you just touched on something. You can start your own side business accruing this event.
I wonder if I'd have to get licensed through 29029.
That's okay.
Just say, hey, I want to come on as crew.
Yeah.
I'll give you 5% of my bring home.
Yeah.
And I could do that.
You could be a Sherpa for these
Shit,
people.
They don't have Sherpas for this.
Exactly.
You want
See?
the Everest experience?
Yes.
You need a Sherpa.
Yes, you do. You think I am
manners.
joking, but they would want somebody to carry their wire for them.
Well, here's a little icon right here that I can talk to them right now.
Okay.
Right now. Start a conversation.
Do you have Sherpas?
Do you have Sherpas?
If not,
this is not an Everest experience.
Yes.
And here is my resume.
Man, I like where this is going.
I'm digging it, man. I'll wear some llama beanies. I'll fit the mold,
You'd be all stanky.
Yeah. Holy
Serve
cow.
them some butter tea.
See, this is what we do here. I'd never thought of that. Like, you want there's nothing there on Sherpas.
I'll
Sherpa somebody.
You can carry some ice cubes and fan that cool breeze.
Easy for
their
3
way.
days.
Yes.
I could do that. And I'll just put it on their private Facebook page. I'm like, listen, I can only Sherpa one person, or if you're hiking with a person.
One person or a tent.
Yeah, I'll Sherpa a tent.
You can do a tent.
Because, I mean, it's only 2.3 mile climb, so I could get all over that mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like while one's coming down on the gondola, I could be going up with one, or put a little station halfway at the top, dress in a Yeti suit for nighttime. You want to freak people out.
But no, they're not doing this at night because of the gondola.
That's silly.
The hiking only happens during gondola hours. I'm pretty sure of that.
Okay, let me find this.
Yeah.
Do you have to hike all 36
Because that's going to be a
hours?
liability and a safety issue.
It says, no, this is a total time available hike. The challenge begins at 6 a.m. on Friday and will end at 6 p.m. on Saturday. You will be able to take the gondola down mountain the entire 36 hours.
Are you serious?
So basically, they rent the mountain. They
They
own it.
definitely rented the mountain. That's why this is so expensive.
Yeah. So it takes the challenge 36 hours. All right.
Right.
It says, here's one. Are spectators allowed? Yes, spectators are allowed. Spectators are able to cheer for participants at the base of the mountain and can ride down the gondola as well.
They can go up.
They're not allowed to hike on the mountain in the tents or in the dining areas.
Yep. They're closing the mountain.
Yeah. What do I have to bring? They'll give you hiking boots or trail shoes and trekking poles. They recommend. Man, I'm totally. I'm looking right at this start a conversation thing. I'm like, hey, a lot of my friends call me, they think I'm Sherping around here anyway. Man, that's a gold mine.
Yeah.
Man, I'm in.
You only got to work 2 weekends during the year.
That's right. It's like I'm done.
Yeah, making money.
I'm buying a new microphone for the podcast.
Right. So I think that one of the things you were trying to allude to earlier was just the price point and a lot of the snarky comments that came out of this.
Yeah, there was a lot.
But, thinking about this now, they're spending a lot of money on their end.
They are. Well, and we've talked about this in past podcasts. Why I bring this up originally, too, was what's next, right? I know this happened last year. I wasn't. Right. Maybe I was aware. Maybe I didn't pay attention to it.
You're just kind of like, that's silly. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, year 2 rolls around. You're like, okay, they're going to make some money this year.
Yeah, and so it's like we talked about
there's a
what's
small
next.
window, though.
Yeah.
Right? There's a small window where this is going to be viable. Maybe it's 3 or 4 years, and then it's done.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy, though. I mean, because I would, like I said, I'd look at it. It's like I would never spend money to do that. Now, on the flip side, it's got me in my back of my head going, okay, so if I find where they start and finish, I could do it during the summer over 2 months even. It's like, hey, I have Everest, because that's not a big deal to me.
Right.
I've never been a climber.
It'd be dirtbag Everest.
Yeah, dirtbag Everest.
We'll charge you a fourth of what they're charging.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you want a little medal and a T-shirt and a pat on the back, we got you covered.
And all you got to do is cover like our Slackwater bill for 2 nights.
Yes, exactly.
So anyway, pretty interesting stuff, and I know. And Joel said, I mean, there happened destination. There might be stuff similar to this going on at different places, but
where else they should do this is Jackson Hole, obviously.
Oh,
so that's a 4,000-foot climb out of the gate,
yeah,
and it's really nice at the base there. Telluride.
I mean, you could do it at
Right?
a lot of cool places.
Yeah, you could do it at a lot of places. Flagstaff. You could do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they've got a gondola. You have to have a gondola. That's important.
Yeah.
Snowbirds.
Or you could just do a different category, right? You don't have you don't have to take the gondola. You have to come
trust
down.
me. The price point that it attracts these people, there's no way they can go downhill for 30,000 feet. They would be ruined after just one.
That's what I'm saying. Put it in a different category where you pay $5,000 and you have to charge them more to run down.
Well, I like this idea. I think this actually could be a really cool race format. They've done this before, like with Skimo, where you skin up and then you take the gondola down and you try to do as many laps as you can in a fixed time. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and they make sure they let you know this isn't a race for one.
But no, that'd be a cool race format.
Yeah.
You do 6 hours, as many laps as you can on that 2.3 mile climb.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty neat format.
Well, then you're getting to more of that competitive racing format. So to me, that's different than this one.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. This would be
people.
like a totally separate event.
Yeah.
How many laps can you do in that 6 hour time frame?
I'm kind of curious. Just the whole. I mean, they have some cool pictures. There's a picture of Snow Basin and the tents up.
Right. We can test that theory out.
Yeah.
Because you can ride that gondola down for free if you go up.
If you go up.
Yeah.
For right now, you can. So yeah, you could do it a few times a day.
Find out what course they're taking.
And I could have like $3,000 of beer in my car.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what's next on the list?
Next, I mean, not a ton. I mean, we got to talk about obviously the Nordic Valley race. Oh, the registration's open for that. We've got more people registered for that, so that's coming in.
We're getting close. We're 6 weeks out.
I know. I got to start ordering stuff. I thought about that on the flight home when life started to smack me back in the face. What I got to do when I get home. But yeah, we'd love to see you out there. We'd love to share that with everybody. Share it with your friends. Get everybody out. It's a fun day at the end of the year. That is December. 15th? And it's the 15th up at, and it's not $4,000, which is good.
Right. Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, we're working on it. But, yeah, we'd love to see you out there. But also we had last week kind of a fun race, kind of a lot of people, we've talked about doing it, is the Javelina Jundred, as I like to call it, or most people pronounce it correctly at the Javelina 100.
Right.
Big day.
Did our good friend Turtle Miller finish that race?
That's a good question. I got a call from him when I was in San Diego, and I haven't checked it yet. Sorry, Turtle, if you're listening, I'll check it today. But yeah, the winner of that one, Patrick Reagan from Georgia. 13 hours and 42 minutes on the 100-mile.
That's some fast running.
That's not bad. I mean, he won by 2 hours, so he probably wasn't pushed too hard at the end.
Right.
Dave Stevens from BC was second, 15:39, and third place was Kenneth Hawkins from Oregon, Happy Valley, Oregon, 16:22. On the women's side, the name that we love and enjoy, Darcy, she pulled away the women's win, 18:49. Next female, Dana Anderson, South Jordan, Utah, 19:31.
Right.
And third place female was Tanya Keys from Mesa, Arizona, 19:50. I don't know did Turtle do the 100?
He did.
I'm trying to look near the bottom.
Gosh.
Holy crap, there's a lot of people that ran this race.
At the bottom. Yeah, that Javelina's got big.
Did not finish. 195 people have DNF'd the 100-miler.
I think it might have been a little hot.
Wow. No,
That's a lot.
That's what I was
200 people DNF'd?
Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy sauce.
I can't. There's too many names.
There's a lot of search features there on that.
There is. Yeah. And then let's see how many finished though. 195 DNFs in the 100-mile, 368 finishers.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
That is. So craziness. That's the 100-miler. There was what do you call it?
100K.
100K. I'm looking real quick at St. George. I'm kind of curious how Turtle did. Now that you said that, I wasn't until you said that.
Right.
It doesn't look like he finished.
Bummer.
Unless he did I don't know if is that a race you can drop down halfway through?
I'm going to say yes.
I don't see him on the DNF on the 100.
Maybe
mile.
Hit the
100K.
Maybe hit the 100K. Or I think they got 60K too.
I only see a 100-mile 100K. So the 100K on that side, which is pretty cool again.
Yep.
Winner came in 8:55 from that's Jacob Jackson. Second place, Vasil Samartinian. There you go. 9:30.
Vasil Scott Martini.
And third, Charlie McKee, female, Brigham City, Utah, 9:47.
She's boss.
She's had such a fun year. You know, my favorite thing is every time you see a post from her, it's always happy.
Yeah.
I love it. So for the 100K, there were 199 finishers and only 29 DNFs on that one.
Oh,
so
that's a little bit better ratio.
Yeah, I didn't see. I saw Josh Miller, but I don't see a Turtle Miller.
What about Jared Miller?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Last name. Let's go last name search.
There you go.
See how Turtle.
This is bugging you now, huh?
It is bugging me. There's a Desiree Miller. That's not him.
Maybe that's his stage name.
No, I don't think it is. 'Cause it's female. I don't see him on either page anywhere.
Oh man.
So he might have been banding in the race, maybe.
No, I think he was legit. We'll figure it out.
He must have Oh, here we go. Nope. Yep, here we go. Turtle Miller, St. George. He finished 27-23.
Got his Western States qualifier.
In the 100 miler. 27-23. So great job.
Nice work.
That's solid, man. He's been sneakily training, I bet.
Nah, I'm going to say he has not.
So
He's doing this 2-mile loop every day.
Let's see, what does that put him at? He finished 252nd.
Nice.
He
got it done. That's what counts.
That's what majorly counts. Nice job, Turtle. So yeah, that was going on this past weekend, so that was all right. Haven't heard back from my mechanic on Studio 78, so I'm going to probably make a phone call today just to make sure we're all legit. It's been up there for like a week.
Right.
Probably sitting outside.
You know what's sitting outside?
Lonely, missing me big time. I also want to talk about, it's coming up quick on November the 12th, a Trail Running Film Festival here in Ogden, and Salt Lake City on the 13th. Again, we have a few extra tickets to give away on that. If you are interested, just let me know. No contest involved. Maybe I can just select from that. I have one extra ticket, and there's one that's been donated to us as well. And it's this week's let's throw it out there. It's early, but the Ogden Trail Running Festival, May 3rd and 4th, 2019. Still looking for a few sponsors for that race. We just had a really crash session this morning on the Kids K. We might be changing up a little bit for the better.
Right.
So stay tuned for that. We'll still be doing the Kids K race, maybe expanding it to make it bigger.
Yes.
But doing that, it'd be nice to get a few more sponsors on board for that race. So Joel's week for WDYFTY. Again, we have a few hats left, not many, from the Sign Garage here in Ogden, Utah. It's that time of year to get your custom Christmas gifts from them. Check out what Elizabeth and Nate have going on. But this week, there were some really cool photos. I even posted one in the ocean, which is totally weird because I'm not a huge sand guy.
Yeah.
But my daughter is slowly changing me. She wants to move to San Diego, and I'm kind of, not against it right now.
I thought she wanted to go to school in Oregon.
She does, but she wants to live in San Diego now.
Oh.
Right? So
Okay.
it's like I can do that before I go. She's a beach girl, man.
Oh,
We were
man,
going
you're-
into these.
you're host.
We were going into these shops, and she was like getting out. I bought her, like my daughter. I took her shopping. She got some really cute clothes, and she got a cool trucker hat, some shoes, because she's like me. I got a pair of shoes I'm excited to rock she talked me into. I wanted them for a while. They don't quite fit me, but I'm kind of stepping out of the comfort zone today.
Get some Vans? What's going on?
No, there's some old school New Balance.
Oh, right on. I like those.
They're rad, but they're different. I'm saying that, and it took me a while to get them, but she talked me into it. But anyway, this week's WDYFTY winner, Joel, who do you got?
I got Tim Jacobsen from Palo Duro Canyon, Texas.
There we go. Tim Jacobsen, Palo Duro Canyon, Texas photo. Go ahead and message me, manners@trailmanners.com, so we can go ahead and get out your limited edition WDYFTY hat, where there is only a few left, and we'll get that moving. So, all right, so here we go. Here's we'll do our Strava, because we've got really good 2 questions to get through before the show's over. Last week's leaders, and I didn't look into it, and I should have looked earlier and I'd found more. The distance winner was Ty Draney.
What?
261.2 miles.
He rode his bike.
That's what I'm curious. I'm not going to dive into it, but I'm curious. Second place was Turtle Miller, 115.1. So there's his 100 miler.
Right.
Total run time, Missy Jackson, 26:59, and she was 1 mile. She was like 0.2 miles behind Turtle in distance. She did 114.9. 26:59 for her. And here we go. Congratulations to our friend Aaron Hill for climbing back, literally, to the top of the charts on Vert Gain. 23,839.
That's a lot.
Next closest was a good 8,000 behind. So she crushed the climb this week.
Right.
So congratulations, all of our Strava champions. And we got 527 members on the TrailManners Strava page. That's really cool. I'm just looking at the top for the leaders for this week already as of Wednesday. Tara Warren's on top of distance. Gabe Joy's close behind. It's awesome. All right, so we got 2 TrailManners questions, 2 more great questions.
Okay.
This one says, at a race this past weekend, I got in a pretty solid debate with a runner next to me.
Uh-oh.
When I was waiting for
fisticuffs?
I don't think so. It didn't even look like, and I don't think they elaborated on that part of it.
Dang.
When I was waiting for the race to start, I noticed him doing laps around the dirt parking lot.
Oh.
After about 10 minutes, he came over and lined up next to me
gosh.
and started stretching.
10 minutes a lap?
So he did about 10 minutes in the parking lot, came over and started stretching.
So how long was this race? Do we know that yet?
No.
Okay.
And it says, feeling a little intimidated, I bent over to touch my toes.
Oh, owie, 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 owie.
Because they were stretching.
Yes. Yeah.
He said, the guy looked over at me and quietly said, look at all the people who have no idea how to get ready for a race. He goes, I politely replied, everybody has their own routine and what works for them. Mm-hmm. He then went on to tell me some pretty detailed information about studies he reads about a proper warm-up run and stretching before a race.
Oh, okay.
He says, as soon as he turned his head for a minute, I went and got lost in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly right. That was awesome.
So ninja.
Yeah.
Needless to say, the next 10 or so miles, I was pretty much wondering if I'm doing this all wrong. So TrailManners dudes,
awesome.
What gives? Do I need to run around and stretch before a race? Help me out, Marty from Arizona.
Marty, I
it sounds
love
like a javelina.
the ninja part of it. That was my favorite part.
Meshed into the crowd.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
So this is pretty funny funny you said that. I saw an article on stretching.
Did you?
Just on Facebook, like 2 days ago.
Was that at Runners? What was that? Trail Runner thing?
I don't even remember. I don't pay attention.
That's in my things to read.
And I've talked to a lot of people about this. Yeah. I really have, because I've had the same question. So here's my thing.
Yeah.
I understand like some people warming up.
Yeah.
Because I know when I start a trail run, the training run, a race, it takes me a minute for my lungs to kind of get ready to roll.
Oh gosh, yeah.
My legs. So I can see some people warming up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But if I'm lining up for a 50K, I don't want to run a 52K because I'm warming up first, right? So I just don't do it. And I'm not
if you're a 100-miler, do you think that little extra for the mid-packer is really going to make it?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think if you're going for the win or you're, something like that, maybe you do those things,
right?
But for me, I don't see benefit in it, right? As far as the stretching goes, I've heard so many pros and cons to stretching over the years that I think that absolutely kind of boils down to who you are.
Yeah. I've
heard people say you don't want to stretch because you're, if it's a static stretch as opposed to this type of stretch, right before a race could hurt your muscles. You could pull it, you could do this. Yeah. And I've never been a stretcher.
Right.
I've tried to stretch calves before.
Yeah.
Before, if I know this race starts, vert right away because I've always had some calf problems.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
But I also know I've done that sometimes, and it's
made it worse.
It made it my calves just cramped up anyway. So I think a lot of it's just your routine. Mm-hmm. When I get out of the car to go running, I get out of the car, click my watch, and I walk for 10 steps and take off. Right. Now it's your pace is different when you're training or maybe racing, but I think you were right to me. Look at when you said everybody has their own routine and what works for them.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're a back of the packer, middle of the packer, I don't know if warming up is going to, maybe for your experience, like to make the race better for you, I think it's okay. But if you're not going out with, I can't imagine like lining up and trying to head out with a lead pack of a 25K. I'd pull everything.
You definitely need to warm up at that point, right?
I mean, something like that.
Yeah.
But if he lined up next to you, then he's probably, and I don't know where you lined up, but it doesn't sound like maybe you're in the front.
Well, maybe he was.
I don't know. Marty. You didn't tell me, but I hope. And you're in Arizona, dirt. I'm thinking is javelina.
Yeah, or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah. But that's my opinion. I know Joel has a background in the muscular stretching and the stuff, but I think it's what works for you, really. Because I think
whatever you're doing in your training should be kind of what you're doing in your race day.
Yeah.
In a way, right? I think the longer the race is, and if we're talking mid-packers, if the longer the race is and you're a mid-packer, the less the warm-up becomes crucial, right?
Yeah.
I think the shorter the race, then you can take everybody that's involved, you should probably do a warm-up.
Like a 5K.
Yes. I say do a warm-up because you're probably going to be running that faster than you're training.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Yeah.
Right.
But if this one was, like you said, the first 10 miles, or the next 10 miles you were thinking about it, so this is probably a 25K plus, I'm guessing.
Exactly. That's a good question. I mean, you could do a warm-up, like a little jog, easy jog, just to get the system warmed up, to get the blood pumping, to get the hormones engaged, ready to roll for this event, and then you can do some very specific movements, not stretching, not static stretching. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Not before. Because that's not what the event is. The event's not who can stretch the farthest. That's not what you're after. You got to do stuff that's specific, getting the muscles ready to perform for the next 15 to 100 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the takeaway on this was I liked how stealthy he was to get away from this person.
The ninja move, yeah.
And then, like you said, to each his own.
Yep.
If it works for you,
do it.
For it.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you want to experiment the other way, try it out, see if you like it better.
Do it in your training runs.
Yeah. But, do what you're, because last thing you want to do is hurt yourself right before the race.
Yeah, exactly. You're more likely to get hurt by just going over and doing the old school static stretching.
Yeah. Rip it right off your bone.
Yeah.
Next one's up is from Shannon in Utah. Shannon says, you guys talk a lot about cross-training, especially during quote-unquote off months.
That's right.
Or
Starts right now.
Or even winter. Mm-hmm. I want to hit the gym for some strength training, but keep my running up for an early 2019 race, February 50K.
Nice.
How often should I be running, and what types of distances, and how many times a week should I be lifting?
Wow.
So I think
that's a lot of specifics.
Yeah, well, we asked for them because sometimes we can't answer questions.
Yeah, I
right?
like this.
You got a race coming up in February.
Ooh.
You want to get in the gym. You want to do some strength training.
Yes.
You want to keep your fitness on distance up, obviously, but you want to hit some weights.
Do we know if this person has had a big base going into this?
No clue. That's all I got.
We need to know this information, Shannon. Come on now.
She really hit the details. So what do you think, Joe? I mean, like if we were, say me, like we.
She's got to lift twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah, lift twice a week.
And then what about running? And is it going to.
And we 3 to 4 days a week, do you think?
I would think at least 3.
Yeah, at least 3.
And
I'm assuming she's got a big base.
Well, she got a 50K. Now he means base of miles, not like a big base, like a booty.
Right.
We're not throwing that to anybody. No. But I think this is a great question. I simply think it's a great question because we've talked about it on the show. If you're going to get in the gym, you're going to do any type of cross training. How is your running going to be? Like you can't expect your runs to be fantastic.
At first, they're terrible,
right? Because you're just doing something different and you're fatigued.
Yep.
Your muscles aren't, you know.
Yeah, cross-training has to happen now. I mean, it's got to be November, December, and then January rolls around. You got to taper off the cross-training so that way you have a month of really good quality runs.
Yeah.
If you want to have a good outcome in February.
So you think a month before her race, it's all running at that point?
I think, running and then doing maintenance work, like a lot of body weight stuff.
Okay, but not like heavier weights?
Definitely not.
Okay, so right now you can get into the heavier weight stuff.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, really, it should have been October, November, December.
Yeah. Depends on when your last race was, maybe. But if you're doing it now, I agree with Joe. I think, what about distance on her mileage? I think that's one of the questions.
I would
distances,
be
5 to
trying
7?
to do that taper up, obviously. Right? Where she's building. That's what you're after. You're trying to build up.
What would you do? So she's getting in the gym for some weights. Mm-hmm. What would you do the first 2 to 3 weeks? Would you do... get into the gym, you got twice a week. Would your running be shorter? 5 miles? I don't know what distance you're
I would
running,
back off on the mileage a little bit because you're adding that
other stress.
Stress into the system, yeah.
And so that's like for a couple weeks at least, 2 to 3 maybe.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can kind of start to gradually taper up that.
Yeah, because then not only are you increasing your run volume, but you're going to be increasing your lift volume. Okay. Meaning that you can lift more weights because neurologically you're adapted to it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, so you got to back off the run part at first because you're throwing this new stressor into the system. And if something's going to give, it's going to give at the beginning. Like, you're going to get injured at the beginning. You don't want to. So that's reducing that.
And maybe like your runs, maybe the intensity's not as high.
Oh, yeah, definitely drop that off big time.
Okay to hike if you have to, if you're getting tired up a hill. Because I know I've done that when I've worked out at the gym with you and I've tried to run. It's like sometimes we'll do major day with some squat stuff. Right. And then I get out and I'm like, oy.
Yeah,
they just don't
walk a lot.
Yeah, they don't move. I couldn't get my leg over that rock. Yeah. So you got to be a little more aware and take your time. But I think it's a great question because we do get this one similar question. Is this off? We could call it off-season training or weight training.
It starts now. It really does. It starts. You got to be on it right now.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's good. Hopefully that helps, Shannon. It's a great question because I know a lot of people are kind of in that same mode.
And if you're not deadlifting, deadlift. If you don't know how to deadlift, find somebody that can teach you how to deadlift.
And so you think, that's a good one. What's a good weight?
Deadlift. You got deadlift and pull up. Those are the two things. And if you can't do those, for sure, do pull ups. Upper body strength.
Okay. Push ups good.
Push ups are good. I like pulling exercises.
Okay.
I think they can be a little bit healthier on the shoulder.
Okay.
As opposed to, like, say, push up or push press over the head.
And a deadlift is when you have a barbell with weights at your feet.
Dumbbells or kettlebells. Right.
Yeah. And then you just essentially...
You stand up.
Good form.
Yeah, always.
Your back, chest up,
flat back.
grab, and you stand straight up.
And you just stand up. And
bring the
weight.
Your head.
Yeah, bring the weight up to your waist, your pockets.
Yeah. And what's the one when you get it to your chest? That's right before you press, right?
Well, you can either take it out of the rack and press it over your head, or you can do a power clean up to the power position, which is up at the front rack, and then you can press it over the head.
But Joel's talking deadlifts, just kind of
straight up deadlift.
Straight,
yeah,
body straight, back down. Up, back
and for the trail runners, it's important that you do the full range of motion on the deadlifts. You pick it up and you put it back down. Don't drop it.
Yeah. Well,
if you're a road runner, and the only reason I bring this up is because I'm thinking I'm going to have to do a strength program for a road runner here shortly. I'm just going to ask them to pick it up and to drop it from the waist.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to have that eccentric strength phase because they're not going downhill.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a trail runner.
Trail runner, variable conditions, running up, running down.
I mean, some marathons are down, but we don't. Even the downhill aren't downhill, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if you're looking at the high level marathoners, they are probably never going to run a really steep downhill marathon.
Yeah.
Because they'll trash them for the year.
Yeah. That's why that Huntsville one here is kind of a beat you up type thing.
Oh yeah, any of those, like the ones coming down the Cottonwoods.
Yeah. Those will get you.
They'll get you.
Well, I hope that helps. 2 more great questions. Keep those coming. I love them because I can learn as we go, like this whole strength training thing. I know that's my goal this winter. Keep those coming. Don't forget about the races that are launching up. Don't forget when you're on Ultra sign up, scoot over to the Nordic Valley 7K, hit register there. We'd love to see you up there. And if you have any questions, let us know. And we'd love to see people at the Trail Running Film Festival. I did see on Facebook that James Varner is actually going to be here.
Oh, wow.
Being the MC, which is just a huge reason to go. James Varner he's been around a long time, super fun dude.
Nice guy.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun just if you came out just to even meet James.
Right.
And if you go back, we had him on the podcast a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. He even brought us beer.
He did.
Which is always something that we never frown upon. So.
No.
Anyway, I know all of us here want to wish Joel good luck with his surgery in a couple days, and we can't wait to hear how that goes and get him back out on the trails. And the rest of you, just have a great weekend. Enjoy November, and please, please, please remember to do like, share, and turn back time this weekend. Other than that, this is Aric and Joel with the TrailManners Podcast, and we are out.